When you're working with women, women are highly unpredictable. So, and women are not money motivated. So I got to a point where the only way you can really get the women to work for you, you have two choices. You either try and convince them into some kind of business arrangement, which doesn't work long term because women are emotional, or you get girls who are in love with you and do it because they love you and they want to do as you say and be around you.
So you say women aren't money motivated. What is their motive? What would motivate them?
Women are absolutely and utterly motivated by fun and attention. Champion. I ended up in the whole male-female dating space kind of on accident. For 4 years, I ran a webcam studio, which people find very interesting. I had naked girls sitting on the internet talking to guys, and they all worked for me. So I guess in many ways, I was a digital pimp. So when I joined Twitter and these kind of things after Trump's election, I kind of jumped on Twitter and the internet, and everyone's like, "You do what? That's weird." And they're like, "Well, you must know a thing or two about girls. We've never seen females or male-female dynamics approached from this particular angle before." And that's kind of how I ended up here. So
you don't do you do that still?
I have 3 girls who still work for me, but it's not like it was before. Before I had a very, very large company. At some points, over 40, 50 girls working for me at a time. So
what made you slow it down?
I was making a lot of money, but it was a lot of headache. And then I've invested in a few other businesses. I own casinos now in Romania. So the only thing better than titties is gambling. So it makes me more money. When you're working with women, women are highly unpredictable. So, and women are not money motivated. So I got to a point where the only way you can really get the women to work for you, you have two choices. You either try and convince them into some kind of business arrangement, which doesn't work long term because women are emotional, or you get girls who are in love with you and do it because they love you and they want to do as you say and be around you.
So you say women aren't money motivated. What is their motive? What would motivate them?
Women are absolutely and utterly motivated by fun and attention. Those two things. If a woman has a lot of attention and a lot of fun in her life, she's uninterested in anything else. So when I say women aren't money motivated, what I mean is they don't want to make their own money. And I know this from experience. If I had a girl who would sit down and make, let's say, $1,000 in 2 hours, I'd sit and think, okay, you can make $10,000 a week. She'd think I only have to work 2 hours and have the rest of the week off. They have a completely different attitude towards being rich. They want a rich man because they want fun, but they don't want to have their own money or pay for things. They don't care. They just want fun to be facilitated. They're uninterested in the cost of anything. Yeah, I've done this many times with very many beautiful girls. I've been on boats in Dubai with supermodels. I've had girls in my Lamborghini. I've done because I've got a bit of money, and I've said to them, "How much do you think this costs?" They don't even know. They don't even know how much a Lambo costs. They don't know how much a boat costs. They don't know how much the dinner is. They don't know that the table in the club is $5,000. They have no concept of money in the way a man has concept of money because it's just provided for them at the top. If they're top level, they have no idea what money even is.
So you're saying
you can do anything you want to a woman except bore her. And this is absolutely a fact of life. You look at these girls who stay in these abusive relationships. I'm not going to say anything crazy, but it's true. Why do they stay so long? Because I don't buy that. I was forced to stay for 10 years. You were at the grocery store every day. You could have called the police anytime. Why did you stay for 10 years? Well, maybe it's sick. Maybe there's something wrong with you and there's something wrong with him. But one way or another, there is some kind of emotional response there that you were enjoying. The extreme jealousy or the fact that he was so obsessed with you, or there's something about certain toxic relationships that even women enjoy. This is the reality of nature, of human nature. And if you can provoke an emotion in a female, no matter what it is, and I'm not saying it's easy to do, but if you can provoke an emotion, you're always going to be better than if she's bored or you provoke no emotion. That's when she's going to absolutely and utterly disappear.
What would you say for...
Don't. Get out. You can't stay in there forever.
Once again, this is an IQ test, right? Because any guy who's bad with women would look at it and go, "Tate's a woman beater."
I say it. Look at the camera. This is what happens, you don't listen. Look at the camera. Why are you getting hit? Why are you getting beaten? You don't listen. You. Do as I say.
Any man who's actually a G. No, because my primary self-focus as a person has always been absolutely selfish. I was a fighter and I wanted to be the best fighter. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be smart. I wanted everything for me. Girls came because of that, yeah. And I've always had girls, and I am very good with girls, but I never thought of myself as a guy who gets girls. That was my MO. Like, that was never what it was about. I always had a bigger goal or objective. And
it sounds like for a guy who doesn't have money to do fun, crazy, wild things.
You don't need money. The idea that you need money is a complete fallacy. I'll tell you this now, because I got rich relatively quickly. I was completely broke, and then I became a world champion fighter, and then I had this cam business. So I literally, in the space of 4 years, I went from earning a couple grand a month to hundreds of thousands a month. So I got rich very fast, and I can tell you that it makes pretty much no difference. In fact, if you make too much money, it can be detrimental, because then you have the problem where you're sitting there on dates with girls and they're like, there's no way this guy would ever want to be a boyfriend to me. He just wants to use me. He has a Lambo. He has this girl. He's here. He's there. So it can be detrimental. You don't need money. You need the ability to provoke emotion. Now, if you have money in the bank, that's a bit easier. It's a bit easier to provoke emotion if you can say, let's go Disneyland tomorrow. But it's not about the money. It's about the spontaneity. It's about for provoking the emotion. This is why girls like funny guys, because it makes them laugh. You know, it's provoking an emotion out of them. This is all it really is. I mean, cash makes that a bit easier, but I don't.